Hey, I'm Eric Rokeach, and I'm here with two awesome clients from Melt Fitness, Mr. Ray Ristau and Nanette Lopez, and they're here to share their story and their experience about how things have gone on there, the results that they've had, and everything in between. So, first thing I want to do is, Ray, I guess I'll kind of get you started on this. Kind of give everybody a background information, how maybe you and Nanette kind of got started and involved over there at Melt Fitness.
Well, it was a couple of years ago, and actually Nanette's son was going there for a youth football kind of pre-football season workout session, and we would drop him off there, and we would check in with him and pick him up, and we kind of glanced over at what they were doing, and it seemed kind of interesting. And actually Nanette was doing more of that, and so she was talking to me about, hey, maybe we should think about joining or something. And then they came out with a Groupon, and she kind of talked me into it. I wasn't really that interested, and so we went with the Groupon, and it was a 6-week deal. And the first couple of weeks we went there, we had our own life, our old life, I should say, and we were making excuses for not going, and we were lucky to get there 2 or 3 times a week. And of course, we were exhausted when we came home from the workouts, and Nanette was really getting into it and really enjoying it and thinking this is fantastic. And I was like, I don't know, I think we can do this at home. And so the 6 weeks came and went, and I was still kind of dragging my feet on it, and then we finally just made a decision. We're going to join. We're going to go into this full bore and see what it can do for us. And so that's kind of how we started.
All right, so Nanette, what was it that you were seeing that kind of started piquing your interest? You'd seen, like you said, you'd seen things going on. You're like, maybe we should try this. What made you start thinking that?
Well, one of the things that I enjoy about Melt was, or at least that I saw, was seemed like an intensive workout in only 30 minutes. Especially when we tried it out, I kind of liked the fact that it was 30 minutes. I can do anything in 30 minutes, and why not work out? And the fact that it started getting me like, it was so intense that I felt so good the next day and the next day. It was like invigorating, and so I was hooked from the beginning.
Was there something that, was there something going on? Maybe you guys weren't kind of like wanted to be in better shape, or something that kind of just triggered you guys to actually take the first step and initially, take action on that deal to get going there?
Well, for me, I'm 55 years old, and I wasn't on any medication, but when I would go for my yearly physical, my numbers, blood pressure, the sugar, cholesterol, all those numbers were rising as time went on. And my daughter, we recently became grandparents, and just prior to us getting involved in Melt, and we started kind of reflecting on, hey, we want to be around for our grandchildren, experiencing all of that. And my dad had a lot of health problems, and people say that I'm very similar to him. So I guess I was concerned from a medical standpoint about the shape that I was in. And so that was a big driving force.
Right. So it was kind of for you guys maybe just a little bit of kick in the pants, and also, the benefits obviously that came with it. Is that correct?
Correct. And
all right.
One of the things that we thought about, like justifying it, because, it's not how you call that? It's not like a normal gym that you pay a fee and, you go as you want or whatever. There's more accountability here. And the other fact is, we took this as being more like a preventive for us growing older. So.
Okay, so it's interesting because a lot of people don't really look at it that way. So, Ray, like you said, you guys became grandparents right? So now you want to start making that preventative, be there, longevity, that type of thing. So that played a big role in the decision to start going. And then now, Nanette, you were talking before that you love the 30-minute aspect of it, right? That was something that just worked for you. Now, Ray, you said early on that it's kind of, you still weren't so sure about it, but tell me about, you're kind of on the fence, tell me about the experience that you had gone through, at least while you were there in terms of the training.
For me, you mean? I thought the experience was great. We were exhausted. We were doing, it was slow at the beginning. We were doing like level 1 stuff and push-ups on the wall. At the time I was 255, weighing 255, and today I weigh 170. I was kind of a big guy and pretty much out of shape. My eating habits were bad. I was drinking, alcohol pretty much, whenever I wanted to. I just did. I had no discipline, and so the 30-minute workout was, you can't make an excuse. You can fit it into your day, and once we made a commitment to doing it, we said, we can't just go 2 or 3 times a week. We need to step this up. We need to go every day. We need to make it a part of our life. We need to make it a part of our calendar. This is an appointment that we go to, and then instead of at the beginning, we were working, melt into our rest of our life. And what we decided is we're going to go at a certain time at Melt every day, and we're going to work our life around Melt. So once we made that commitment, we started going 4 times a week, and 5 times a week, and 6 times a week. We were just unstoppable, and right up to this day.
What was it that made that trigger happen where you decided, all right, instead of trying to fit it into your life, make it actually change the lifestyle and make it your lifestyle?
Well, we started seeing some results, right away, even though I had more of a hard time, and I think as women, we have more of a hard time losing weight or shaping up. And right away, I started seeing my clothing fitting a little bit different. I was a size 15, now I'm a size 4. So, it was like, ooh, something's happening here. And and the more I saw that, the more it drove me to do, to go to Melt more often, because it was not only that, but even the way I felt. It's hard to explain that feeling, even at work. The way I walk, the way I present myself, it was totally different. It was more confidence in myself. And one thing about Melt is like your challenge, you're against you. You're not against anybody else. It's like, if one time you were able to do 10 push-ups, maybe next time you do 12. So it's my, so that woke up something in me that I didn't know I had. This drive about, challenging myself. So I thought that was great, because I can only use that not only at Melt, but I use it in my whole life, outside Melt.
Ray, how does it make you feel that you've made such significant changes too? Like you said, you were weight-wise, right? You've lost 70 pounds, right? So, what's your life like now?
85 pounds I'm down now. And it's not just the weight, because I've been at this 85-pound weight loss now for about 9 months. But I still have people coming up to me and saying, "Are you still losing weight, Ray?" And I says, "No, I'm at the same weight as I've been for the last 9 months. But my body is continuing to be reshaped."
It's amazing.
My muscle tone, is incredible. I'm starting to get a 6-pack. I'm in the best shape of my life. And even when I was a teenager or like a 20-year-old, I was never in this kind of shape. And my biceps are getting bigger. It's not just the workouts and the exercise, it's the coaching that Joe has brought to our lives, talking to us about nutrition, talking to us about eating the right amount of protein, because we're working out hard and we need to fuel our body. And so, really tweaking the way our eating habits are. Our eating habits have changed totally. It's just been, so it's not only the working out, although that's a big part of it. It's also
So it's been
eating correctly.
For both of you guys, it's just been 180-degree, completely life-changing, alternating lifestyle change for you.
This has been a transformation. I'm telling you, I look totally different. I have good friends, and I go to work every day. And there was a point in this whole thing where I walked down the hall and I walked right by everybody, and they didn't even know who I was. It was very dramatic. It took time, but something happened, and I would stop and I would say to people, "Hey, hey Joe," and they would go, "Ray, is that you?" And it's happened over and over and over again. People still can't get used to the way I look.
That's incredible. And how does all the changes in the net, how does it make you feel going through the changes, and obviously you guys being together, seeing each other and feeding off it? How does this all make you feel?
It's just amazing. The transformation that we had, sometimes I go back and I look at the pictures, and it's not, we've been able to do so many different things. Like, I never thought I would run a 5K, and I would never thought I would do a rugged maniac or a pentathlon, and I never thought I could do pull-ups, chin-ups, anything. And it's just, now there's no stopping. On eating habits, I broadened my horizons. I never had a broccoli before in my life. And now I look forward to having vegetables. I look forward to have a nice balanced meal. And, and all this has been, encouragement from, the trainers, Joe, Aaron, even Barb, giving us recipes to try. It's amazing feeling.
All right, so I got a few more questions for you. One a little bit more on like the training side of it, as we're talking about. People are going to see this and they're hearing your stories and the results and the life-changing everything. If someone sees this and they're kind of on the fence and they're still like, I don't know if this is the right place for me, or maybe I shouldn't work out here, Ray, what would you want to say to somebody who maybe is kind of in the thinking along those lines?
Well, I think you need to give it a chance. You need to give it a good, fair chance. You're going to have a lot of negative things in your head because that's where you are in that place in your life right now. But so you need to open up some positive things in your head. You need to be accepting of the 30-minute workouts. It's great to go there and not have to think about, it's not like a regular gym where you go and you have to say, oh, I'm going to go on the treadmill today, or I'm going to go do a routine. You don't have to figure anything out. You walk into this place, the trainers tell you, this is the 5 exercises we're going to do, this is the routine, this is how you do the exercises safely, and they familiarize yourself with the routine. You hit it, you go and do it, and just give it enough time so you can see some results. The results are the way you feel the next day, the way you feel when you go to melt the next time, when you start eating differently, working out, and your clothes start fitting differently.
Right.
You just have to give it a little bit of time and have a positive attitude, and something is going to click inside of you, and you're off to the races.
Anything you want to add to that, Nanette? Someone maybe they're on the fence that Ray didn't cover.
I think it's the same thing that Ray said, and the key is to not set up their goals so high, and is to take it, to celebrate the little accomplishments, because a lot of people go into this thinking, I want to lose 30 pounds. And, yeah, that's a great goal. But, how about losing 2 pounds or maybe 2 inches? So you got to do it very small steps. But they got to try it. The key is to try it and give it a chance. And, and follow direction, because, if you follow what the trainers are telling you, you're golden. I mean, you get results.
All right, so I want you.
I,
Yeah, go ahead.
I say that, when we started this, I think she was like 165 or,
166.
and she said to me, I've never been able to get out of the 160. Because I was telling her, well, you could lose 10 pounds. And she goes, I've gone down as low as 160, but I've never been able to do it. And I said, oh, you can do it. And once she hit into 150s, she still was not believing.
Yeah.
And I said, well, now you're going to get down below 150. And she goes, that'll never happen. And in time, she got down into the 140s. And then at some point, she started believing.
Yeah. And now I'm down to like 130 and 132, so I fluctuate. But now, my whole body's like changed. It's still changing, like Ray had said before. I'm toned. I feel great, and it's just incredible.
That's awesome. Very cool to hear the results. So I got just a few more questions, and I'm going to shift gears. I want to talk about the trainers and Joe a little bit, because you guys know him, you've been working with him. So I want people to, I guess, hear your words and basically just kind of tell me what the trainers are like, not as trainers, but as people. Are they caring people, or do they really want the best for you? Everybody can go out and get trainer or whatever, but what makes these guys different?
Well, I think Joe, number one, is extremely knowledgeable. You can tell that just by talking with him, and he really cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
All the trainers do, but one time I had my back was bothering me, and I didn't make it to boot camp, and Nanette went, and Joe came right over and said, "Where's Ray?" And he says, "Well, his back is bothering him." He said, "You get him to come in tomorrow with you, and I'll work with him, and we'll give him some stretching exercises, and I don't want that to be an excuse not to come." And I went the next day, and he's got a lot of people who want to talk to him, and a lot of people who get his attention, and he's trying to deal with everybody. But he saw me, and he walked right over to me, and he said, "Okay, Ray, where's it hurt? This is what you're going to do." We got down on the floor. We worked out some exercises to work at home.
He showed me.
He showed Nanette how to help me with it. And, it was remarkable, the recovery. And, they care about you. It's not going into a big box gym, because we were members of big box gyms, many of them. And they don't even know, other than swiping the key fob, they don't know whether you're there or not. But Joe and the rest of the trainers, they care about you. They know you're there. They make you feel part of the family of Melt. And now we're part of the family with other members of Melt. And now we've become friends not only with Joe and the rest of the trainers, but we're friends with other people that go to Melt. And so we've built a lot of relationships. And that's really good, because it's given us some common goals to work with other people, and so we're hanging around people that are into the same thing that we're into.
Right. Okay, so Nanette, I've got two more questions. I'm gonna have you take these questions. If you can maybe give a few words or phrases that describe Joe and the other trainers there. Ray had given a lot of great detail, but if there are a few words that just pop right into your head that maybe describe their character.
I think Joe is very caring. He's very personable. That's one thing that I think it drives people to go there. He knows everybody by their name. He doesn't care what color, race, anything big. skinny, whatever, who you are. He comes and says, hi, how you doing? Do you need any help? Remember, we're here for you. And, the same with the other trainers. I mean, they're there for us. I mean, that's the feeling you get when you walk into Melt every day. And it has been like that for the 2 years that we've been going.
Okay, last question. Nanette, you lead this one off, and then Ray, you can answer it. If you only had 30 seconds, you were never going to see Joe, or you're never going to see anybody of the trainers ever again. You wouldn't be able to talk, call, text, nothing. It's last time. What would you want to say to them?
I would like to thank them for changing my life and giving me more of something to live for, something that I can give to my kids and, give us so we can grow all together for a while.
Yeah, it's a very emotional topic for us because Joe and Aaron, they have transformed our lives. They've changed us. We are different people than we were 2 years ago, we can't thank them enough for everything that they've done and everything they continue to do for us. And so they're great friends. We consider themselves us. They're great friends, and we love them to death.
Well, Ray, Nanette, amazing story. Congratulations on all the success, and I wish you the best of luck going forward with everything else. And thank you for the time.
Thanks,
Thank
Eric.
you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye
Okay,
now.
bye.